now, 7:35. Let's talk football. Niners fans got the news they were hoping for as they count down the hours to tomorrow's NFC Championship game. We're talking about Deebo Samuel. He has been cleared to play in that conference title game against the Detroit Lions. That's after he returned to the practice field on Thursday. San Francisco's star wide receiver suffered that shoulder injury in the Niners' playoff victory over the Packers a week ago. But the Niners announced yesterday that Deebo is good to go for tomorrow's big game. The winner, of course, goes to the Super Bowl. And when we talk about the Niners and the Lions, they are not known as rivals, but these two teams do have a long history, and it goes back decades.
It does. KTVU's James Torrez joins us live near Kezar Stadium to tell us how that former home of the Niners plays a big part in their history. Good morning, James.
Frank, Claudia, good morning. Well, tomorrow's the NFC Championship, of course, meaning that the 49ers and the Lions are in the same conference, so they tend to play each other decently often in the regular season. 49ers have a 39-28 all-time advantage, but it was their first playoff matchup ever that has people to this day still talking, and that happened right here at Kezar Stadium. I want to take you back to 1957 to give you the details. The first time the two teams ever face off in the NFL playoffs. Some people watching the game from the rooftops of nearby homes. Quarterback Y.A. Tittle for San Francisco versus Tobin Rote for Detroit. The 49ers had it in the bag, up 27-7 in the third quarter, but interceptions, poor defense in the second half, and probably a cocky attitude ruined everything. I talked to 49ers fans from that era at that game who said a defeat like that is one they still have not forgotten.
It left a deep scar in me all these years, and I feel a lot better now because of the weather, okay? Because I saw how we struggled in the rain, you know, and I feel a little better about this. I almost feel to the point that we're going to blow out the Lions.
Of course, you can blow them out in the first half. The second half is a whole different story. That loss to this day is still considered one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history. The Lions would go on to take it all that year, defeating the Cleveland Browns in the NFL championship, actually just totally wiping the floor with them. The 49ers would eventually get their revenge in 1983 when they defeat the Lions by 1 point after a Lions kicker missed his chance to win the game with just a few seconds remaining. So it's the tiebreaker, really, the third matchup in the playoffs between the two teams here. And Frank and Claudine, one more little tidbit about this game. That gentleman that I interviewed and talked to about it, they said that at halftime, or maybe just somewhere around the third quarter here, fans were so confident that they were going to move on to the NFL Championship because they had that big of a lead, that the stadium here at Kezar, they had already printed tickets to buy a seat to go watch the Cleveland Browns play the 49ers here at Kezar. You would line up and they would wrap around the stadium. He actually bought that ticket, and of course, it was never used because they never played.
I bet it's worth a couple of bucks.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah. That is amazing. That's why, you stay till the end. You never know. That's what makes it exciting. All right, James, so interesting. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah, like your last fan, that guy's still ticked off too, right?
And they're going to stay that way until we see a result that they want to see tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.